You can play video games for hours without getting tired. You can scroll social media until your thumbs go numb. You can binge an entire Netflix season and call it just one more episode. But the moment you sit down to study for 30 minutes, it suddenly feels unbearable. You promise yourself you'll work for an hour, yet 5 minutes later, you're grabbing a snack, rearranging your desk, or convincing yourself that cleaning counts as productivity. Here's the strange part. You already know that studying, exercising, or working on your goals would make your life better long term. And yet, you still gravitate toward quick hits. Social media, entertainment, distraction. So why does this happen? Why do some people seem capable of tackling difficult things every day while others constantly avoid them? And more importantly, can you train your brain to actually want hard things? The answer starts with dopamine. People often call dopamine the pleasure chemical, but that's misleading. Dopamine doesn't create pleasure, it creates desire. It's the chemical that makes you pursue something before you even experience it. It's anticipation, craving, drive. To understand how powerful this is, researchers once ran experiments with lab animals. They gave them a lever that triggered stimulation of their brain's reward system. The animals pressed the lever repeatedly, ignoring food, sleep, and everything else, purely chasing that signal. In a different experiment, researchers blocked dopamine activity. The animals didn't become sad or incapable of pleasure. If food was placed in their mouths, they ate normally, but they lost the motivation to get up and pursue it. That's the key insight. Dopamine isn't about enjoying rewards, it's about moving toward them, and your brain follows the same principle. But there's another layer, tolerance. Your brain is constantly trying to maintain balance. When you repeatedly flood it with high-stimulation activities, fast entertainment, ultra-palatable food, endless novelty, your brain adapts. It reduces sensitivity to dopamine. The result? Things that once felt exciting become normal, and things that were already low stimulation, studying, exercising, deep work, now feel even harder. It's like eating intensely flavored food every day. Eventually, simpler meals taste bland by comparison. So when you sit down to do something difficult, your brain isn't malfunctioning. It's simply comparing options, and the contrast makes effort feel unrewarding. This is where the concept of a dopamine reset comes in. Imagine constantly consuming high-intensity stimulation, then suddenly stepping away from it. At first, boredom feels uncomfortable, but over time, your baseline shifts. Activities that once seemed dull begin to feel engaging again. There are different ways to approach this. A more extreme version is taking a full day away from high-stimulation inputs. No social media, no gaming, minimal digital noise. Boredom rises, and your brain starts rediscovering interest in simpler activities. A lighter version is choosing specific windows to avoid certain distractions. For example, no social media on Sundays, or no gaming midweek. These periodic resets help reduce tolerance without requiring drastic changes. The goal isn't punishment, it's recalibration. But avoiding stimulation alone isn't enough. You also need structure. One of the most effective strategies is simple: work first, reward after. When you start your day with instant gratification, it becomes harder to transition into effort. But when rewards follow effort, they reinforce productive behavior. For example, completing a focused work session earns leisure time afterward. Finishing a workout earns relaxation. The sequence matters. Beyond that, there are practical ways to make difficult tasks easier to start. First, gamification. Turning tasks into progress systems, checklists, streaks, levels, taps into your brain's natural love of completion. Second, start smaller than you think necessary. The barrier is often initiation, not capability. Committing to just 2 minutes lowers resistance and frequently leads to continuation. Third, use immediate micro-rewards. Small acknowledgements after progress help sustain engagement during longer pursuits. Fourth, leverage social environments. Working alongside others or sharing goals increases accountability and reduces avoidance. And fifth, identity. Your actions tend to align with how you see yourself. If you consistently tell yourself you lack discipline, your behavior will reinforce that belief. But when you begin adopting the identity of someone consistent, focused, or disciplined, your choices gradually shift to match it. Ultimately, dopamine isn't the enemy. It's the engine behind motivation, learning, creativity, and achievement. The real question is where your dopamine comes from. Is it primarily driven by passive consumption and instant stimulation? Or is it increasingly tied to growth, progress, and meaningful effort? You don't need to eliminate enjoyable activities. You just need to rebalance what your brain learns to crave. Hard things rarely feel effortless at first. But with intentional exposure, reward structure, and identity shifts, they stop feeling like punishment and start feeling purposeful. So the next time you face resistance towards something important, remember, the challenge isn't forcing yourself through sheer willpower. It's designing your environment and habits so your brain learns to move in that direction naturally. And over time, what once felt difficult can become the very thing that drives you forward. If you are building systems instead of chasing motivation, subscribe.